Hey there everyone, my name is Evan. I'm a naturalist with Sea Goddess Whale Watching right here in Moss Landing Harbor. And today we're going to be talking just a little bit about the humpback whales and their upcoming migration season. So the really cool thing about these humpback whales is not only are they going to be coming in droves from the north, from around the Bering Sea in Alaska, and anywhere along the west coast of the Pacific United States, all the way down, and they're going to be heading through California between about mid-April and May, heading all the way down south to Baja California through around October to December, which means that for anyone interested in really getting a good look at these humpback whales, they've got about a 6 to 8 month time frame to really kind of get a good look at these whales before they head out to their breeding ground. Now, what's really fortunate about seeing these humpbacks here compared to a lot of other areas are 2 to 3 different things. One of the most important is that these humpback whales, being as large as they are, usually are not this close to the shoreline. And what's really fortunate for us here is right outside of Moss Landing Harbor, we in fact have the Monterey Canyon, which is a massively deep submarine canyon which has this very deep water extremely close to shore. And what that means is that we actually get smaller fish, the schooling fish like anchovies and sardines that Monterey Bay is known so well for, getting very close to the shoreline, which you may not see elsewhere. And the benefit to that for the humpback whales and for whale watchers and tourists alike is that these whales come a lot closer to shore than they normally do in other areas, which means you only have to go a couple miles off sometimes to really get the span and the breadth of how big this migration is. And what we will see out here are one of 3 to 4 different things. One of the main ones is as these whales are coming down, obviously they're going to be coming down in droves and virtually all at once, which means that you can see several dozen, sometimes even 100 or more whales in a single day because of this migration. And what you will see during this time is many different types of feeding, anywhere from lunge feeding at the surface and bubble net feeding, as well as stuff like breaching, which is where that entire whale comes out of the water and comes slamming back down. Something like tail slapping and fin slapping, where they're actually slapping part of their body against the surface of the water for a multitude of different reasons, but of course it's always a fantastic sight to see. As well as you might hear some sort of communication from these whales as well, especially when they're doing that lunge feeding I was talking about at the surface. Those whales actually do work cooperatively with each other in order to feed on these large schools of fish at the surface of the water, which of course is a fantastic and pretty magical sight to see for anyone who wants to see these whales in their natural setting. What is fortunate as well, as they are heading down, most of these animals are going to be quite large because they're heading to a breeding ground, which means that a lot of them are either going to be giving birth to a calf this year or are planning to give birth to a calf the next year after going to the breeding grounds this year. Which is very cool because as they're here in the bay, you will actually see them feeding at the surface that I've been talking about with that lunge feeding. And what they're going to do is really engorge themselves on this food because they actually fast during that breeding season, which is a remarkable feat because that season can be about 3 months long. So for anyone who really wants to kind of witness and get the breadth of this migration that we have here in the Pacific from the humpback whales, feel free to give us a call or visit our website. For Sea Goddess, we'd love to have you out and we'd be more than happy to accommodate. Feel free, and we'd love to see you out here. Hopefully we can see you soon.